This is Winnipeg Sports Talk Daily with Andrew Hustler Paterson and Michael Remis.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Winnipeg Sports Talk Daily. Andrew Paterson, soon to be joined by Michael Remis and Connor Rabchak. We got a busy show today. Big announcement today for the sports community in Winnipeg. The NSL, the National Women's Soccer League, is coming to Winnipeg. Expansion announced this morning down at the Forks. Desiree Scott, the destroyer, the greatest player our province has ever produced, founding the team in her hometown. And she's going to be joined by a great friend of the program, Gale, who we've been having on a number of times over the last few weeks to talk about the World Cup. So they're going to be joining us coming up today. We'll have more details on this. But listen, it's great news. It was really sad the way that the Valor FC experiment, whatever you want to call it, went. But we've seen the growth of women's sports in general. We've seen what our Canadian women have done on a world level, on the pitch. And Des was front and center for our greatest heights. And as this league grows, makes a lot of sense to have a team here in Winnipeg. And I think that it's going to be a real nice fit, one of the other puzzles of the entire sports scene here in Winnipeg. So we're going to talk to, I believe, Des and Rob, or one of the two. They're going to be coming and joining us, tell us all about it. And then we're going to dive into some Jets talk and some Bomber talk. Ken Wiebe, I believe, is covering Bomber practice today, where reportedly from DT, sounds like Zach Collaros was out there and was practicing, but it looked like Drew Brown was getting the first team reps. So for all of us that wanted the Drew Brown revenge game, early indications are we might get that. But as I say, we'll talk about that with Ken a little bit later on and follow that story throughout the week. The Not Auto Corp Manitoba Amateur Championship is going on as well right now out at St. B. We'll check in with Munsey a little bit later on, and we'll try and get out at a decent time because we've got to check out the second half of the World Cup semifinal. It is France and Spain. They are kicking off at 2 p.m. We'll pay attention to the start of that game as we are live. But big thanks to the sponsors that make this show happen each and every day. Of course, our partners at Coolbet. Jake, Pat, and I were live this morning on the YouTube channel, breaking down our best bets for the Open Championship. We put some beauties together for the combo cards and the exclusives over at Coolbet. So make a point of heading over there. In the comments, leave your prediction for the winner of the Open Championship. And I will remind all of you, if you're in the CFL weekly pick'em pool, week 7 is open right now. When you go to that spot, Coolbet League, where you normally put your picks in, click on the golf as well. The Cool Bear with the green vest, that's the Coolbet Open, the Open Pick'em opportunity, giving away over $1,000. It's totally free to enter. You just have to have a Coolbet account, much like the CFL Pick'em. Go in, make your picks for round 1, and then come back and do the same before round 2, 3, and 4. And whoever is at the top there, Remis is showing that right there. Yeah, you want the green one, the one in the middle. Predict the Open and win prizes. And then on the right, you'll see win a trip to the Grey Cup with Winnipeg Sports Talk and Coolbet. So lots going on, but I wanted to make sure that everyone caught that right off the bat. Don't miss your opportunity to win big and play along with us for the Open and the CFL this weekend. Of course, our friends at Princess Auto, Chud's Power Sports, Clean Line, Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, Manitoba Battery, Aikens Lake, Breezy Bend, Royal Sports. Get those Bjorck 61 jerseys, folks. Boston Pizza, Little Brown Jug, Travel Manitoba, the Winnipeg Gold Eyes, Assiniboia Downs. Was at the Downs last night. We got to talk about that. Rolly's Transfer, St. Vital Dental Center, and, of course, a why not question of the day for Not Autocorp at Waverly and McGillivray. Let's get the boys in here. Connor Rabchak, Michael Remis. What is going on? How are you, fellas?
I'm doing well, Huss. I'm fired up for this NSL announcement. I know there was some rumblings coming up until this point, but that's super exciting. And shout out to Desiree Scott and Rob Gale, who we've both had on this program before, for heading up that operation. And Bombers practice, keeping an eye on that. Drew Brown, first quarterback up. Again, if we said this the other day, but if Zach Collaros isn't fully 100% healthy, give us the revenge game. Drew Brown in Ottawa. We'd love to see that. Ottawa's 0-5. You can definitely win this game with Drew Brown. So, yeah, a pretty newsy day here in Winnipeg with the NSL announcement, but on a national, NHL scale, not really.
Remo?
Yeah, well, it's that time of the summer. MLB All-Star Game tonight, Home Run Derby, although we do have some great World Cup this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, but it was nice to see this NSL announcement. I think has been in the works for a while, but exciting. Another professional team, women's soccer, led by Olympic gold medalist Desiree Scott and again Rob Gale. So excited to have one of them on the program later on to discuss further. But also keeping an eye, Viggo Mania, Huss. I mean, we put this reel on Instagram yesterday of you and Mike talking about the ELC. It got like half the views are from Sweden on that video.
We are huge in Sweden.
We are. Thanks, Viggo.
And that one got 26,000 views, like half from Sweden. So the hype is like, I don't know, unprecedented for a Jets prospect since Lyman.
I'm gonna have to dig in to our analytics a little bit more, because I was looking at something and it shows you, hey, we're doing really well in Canada. Our podcast numbers, by the way, thanks to everyone that listened, have been consistently really strong. But then you can also look and see, where else are you charting? And sometimes they'll be just random. I mean, I have to think it's ex-Winnipeggers that are elsewhere in the world that are just checking in. But I did see that we were like the number 2 hockey podcast in Paraguay. We were number 1. I can't remember whether it was Qatar or maybe it was the UAE, somewhere in the Middle East, anywhere, and one other South American country. So that was always fun. I'm very excited to see our Swedish numbers because I think we are strong. Like maybe we see if IKEA wants to sponsor us or something like that. Maybe that could be our next partner on WST. If you do have a business that want to partner with us, winnipegsportstalk@gmail.com. We'd love you, whether you're in Sweden or not. Would love to talk to you about that. But yeah, listen, Viggo, super exciting. I'm actually going to talk to the Royal Boys later on. I am quite interested to see. I knew they started making them immediately after the signing yesterday. So we'll see how many of those are out a little bit later on. But yeah, listen, we're going to dive in and find out a little bit more about the Northern Super League's 7th franchise, which was just awarded to Winnipeg for the 27th season. But as you mentioned, Remis, I mean, we've had them on the show before, both Christina and Desiree. And it really was in sort of the aftermath of the folding of Valor that they popped in. And listen, I think there's so much potential for soccer in this country. Like to be honest, and I mean, this isn't me as a fan, but just as someone that observes. I mean, if I'm buying stock in sports, I'm buying heavy stock in soccer in Canada. And to be honest, I'm probably selling some of the more traditional sports, like a hockey. Now, this is going to be, I think it's going to be perfectly fitted. I think there's been enough promotion and growth of women's sports that we need to have a pro women's team in something. Not sure our market would be at WNBA level, but this is perfect. We get a soccer team for the soccer community. We get a women's team that, we can have some of our best and brightest athletes representing the country, and obviously part of a growing league that, hopefully will continue to help us have success on the world stage internationally. So a lot of exciting news when it comes to the city. And listen, it's also going to be good for soccer in Winnipeg in general, because I would imagine that there will be an investment, whether it's at Waverley, that soccer complex, or elsewhere, as to where these games will be played. And certainly sounds like a big win-win for the community, but so we're excited to have them on a little bit later on. It was, guys, a bit of a slow night last night. We just had the home run derby, although the derby ended in incredible fashion. Did either of you guys watch it?
I did.
Yeah, I had it on as well.
So, I mean, Schwarber, it was so funny hearing Bryce Harper say, "It's over." And then you saw Schwarber, after hitting those 11 home runs, sitting there just waiting to be coronated. And he was basically 1 out away for, what was it, Connor?
Five or six swings.
Hits?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was second place.
Yeah, and like Schwarber's Phillies guy, it's in Philadelphia, right? Like the crowd it's a home field advantage for the home run derby. And Jordan Walker from the St. Louis Cardinals is up there getting booed. Every time he pops up, the crowd's going nuts. I was very skeptical of the format going into it. I liked the clock in years past, and they were going back to the swings and the outs format where guys are just taking pitches and waiting. But if there's one advantage that this new format that they put together this year has, it's that when a guy's down to one swing or one out and a couple homers away, the drama is great because, it's building. He's taking pitches, but every swing could be the last. And it just so happened that Jordan Walker, amidst all the boos and the crowd going nuts against him, hit 6 homers in a row, I think, and being perfect in those swings. So it was incredible theater, incredible drama. The Derby can be that. There are some years where it's duds and one guy just runs away with it, but it's a great event when there's drama like that and it comes down to the last couple of swings. And I think the crowd being all on Schwarber's side really played into it, and it was a fun watch. I'm a big Derby guy. I'm not going to lie.
I am too. Shout out to our pal Matt Leibel. I always think of Leibel at the Derby. Usually we'd have a derby party, or we do a draft and everyone will put $5 in and make it happen. But I'm with you, Connor. I hated the changes. I'm like, this sucks. I still maintain that there hasn't been a simple tweak to a format of anything that took something from basically unwatchable to must-see TV. And that was the way I felt about the introduction of the clock. So I was totally skeptical about this, and I didn't see the majority of it and kind of caught highlights afterwards. So probably not the best person to speak to it other than seeing the incredibly exciting final. But it doesn't seem like they ruined it, which was good. And Reem, I mean, the Philly crowd always changes things a little bit. That has to be the first time a guy has been roundly booed by an entire stadium at a home run derby during All-Star Week.
I heard they were giving it to some of the kids in the outfield for not catching the balls. Philly fans, they're crazy.
They did boo Santa Claus.
No one's exempt from the wrath of the Philly fans. So, we thought Schwarber, was going to win. That's what we said. He was the favorite. Made it to the final pretty good. But Jordan Walker, I figured it was over. I'm like, well, what is he, 15 swings for 11 home runs? Yeah. But they did have that rule where you couldn't get out. So if you hit a home run on your last swing, you get to keep going. And it just kept going and going. It was crazy to watch. And the home run derby is always a nice family moment. Cool to see his family there. And we did get the full Netflix broadcast experience shown here on Sportsnet, so we don't have to search around. But The reviews of the Netflix MLB, they did the opening day game, and Connor's already shaking his head in the home run derby. Not positive, Hustler.
Way
Really?
too many camera cuts. Way too many camera cuts. Like, I felt dizzy watching the home run derby. And also, the camera shot I want to see when guys are swinging are from behind the BP guy, and then he hits it, right? And then you see the ball in the air. That's all you need. They were doing this weird, like, close-up on the batter where you couldn't tell. Like, you just had to look at the guy's facial expression, essentially, to see whether or not he thought he hit the ball out. Because they're so close that you can't see the swing, you can't see the ball, you can't see anything. And they're just, like, cutting around. I didn't the derbies, whatever. I mean, they're interviewing players. It's a whole thing. And I'm certainly not like, this needs to change, but I just thought it was subpar. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, listen, I just wish I had a piece of Walker on it. I did win. The one bet I won, Reem, was Junior Caminero to have the highest exit velocity. But he won it, but he was actually, I think, plus 250. I think there was a dead heat with somebody else because it cashed, but only at plus 125. So it was obviously a tie. But yes, I did not watch the Derby last night. I caught up on it afterwards, saw a little bit on my phone, but went out to see our friends at Assiniboia Downs last night. And let me tell you something, guys. People love the wiener dogs. It was, I mean, I go to Assiniboia Downs quite a bit over the course of the year. Manitoba Derby is always Derby Day, the Monday of August long weekend, always the biggest day of the year. The crowd last night at Assiniboia Downs, it was just amazing to see. Like, the job that Darren Dunn and Sherry and his staff have done over, like, really basically coming out of the pandemic is phenomenal. I see Mike was there last night. But I went up there and did a quick video. Like, they were lined up 6, 7, 8 deep to get a look at the wiener dogs. And the scene of them just rolling out, like, with the owners and these little dogs coming out, like, was, anyways, it was, yeah, here you have it. The dogs coming through there. All the combatants. Now, I don't believe this is going to be sanctioned to wager on anytime soon, but I would love to next year at minimum, if there's 20 dogs, get a group of 20 people and we just randomly pull numbers or whatever and have sort of a pseudo race on that. But the other awesome thing, there it is, the wiener dogs, they did steal the show. The other thing that was phenomenal about last night was it was the dollar days at the track, and the next one they're doing for this is I think Monday, August 24th, and it's not Derby Day. It'll just be way too crazy. But man, dollar canned drinks, dollar chips, $2 hot dogs. The hot dogs were elite. Excellent $2 hot dog. I got to give the Gold Eyes credit, Assiniboia Downs credit for their promos on the cheap concession nights. The dogs are amazing. And the Bombers, the $3.50 dog at the Bomber game, every game, also elite. And then you get a waffle ice cream cone for $2. It was, anyways, if you're looking for a great cheap night, free admission, free parking, along with a lot of great concession options, you might have to wait in the line a little bit, certainly if it was as busy it was last night. Monday, August 24th is the next night that we'll be getting into that. Did you win any of your bets last night at the track, Reem?
No, I didn't. I went over, so I'm going to try to rebound tonight. I was watching on YouTube as I was editing some videos on here, but no, I didn't win. So I think you've pulled ahead now.
I did a little bit, but again, it's very, very tight. We were within $2 yesterday. I did get the triactor on race 5, which I think won me 17 or something like that. So a little bit of room, but not too much. Connor, we didn't talk to you yesterday. What a sports weekend, though. I know you did a little dip of everything. What a game for the Bombers on Friday night. I mean, unbelievable scene. Full house or full house minus 100 or whatever they announced. Great game by Drew Brown, which of course led to all the conversations about practice today and who's going to be playing quarterback next week. And the Fish are hot, and the Seabears have been doing great, although finally lost a game at home, dropping Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I got this lid at the Gold Eyes game on Sunday. It was a toasty one. It was
shout out to you
a little hot.
You went on Sunday?
Sunday at 1:00. Hottest part, like that afternoon.
Well,
hottest
Mike
part
was
of the
there.
day.
Were you one of the
1 to 4.
He said everyone was basically just trying to get under the shade.
No one was in the
areas.
sun. Yeah, I was with a big group, so we were actually in a sky suite, which was shaded, which was really nice. So, and you could just pop inside with the AC and everything. But no, I went to the Seabears game Thursday night, Bomber game Friday night, Gold Eyes game Sunday. All three of those games, the home team won, went home happy. And that Bomber game, I mean, I know it was short of a sellout. You couldn't tell when Trey Vavel was taking it 129 yards to the house. That was the crowd pop on that was spectacular. Drew Brown was very impressed with him. I know we talked about it going into the game that it was maybe a bit of a softer spot. Toronto does give up a ton of passing yards. Their defense, especially through the air, not very good. But hey, Drew Brown off of one practice went in and looked like he had some pretty good chemistry with the Bombers wide receivers. Most notably Ontario Wilson, who had a monster game at 100 yards in the first quarter. I thought the defense was great as well. Held the Argos to 21 points, and one of those touchdowns came very late. Willie Jefferson, nobody told him that he's 35 years old and supposed to be slowing down anytime soon. He had a monster game. And then, the Trey Vavel of it all was incredible. So that was fun. The Seabears are rolling too, first in the West. The Gold Eyes scored like 1 million runs in their series over the weekend. They're red hot too. I know they're on the break right now, but man, it's a fun time for Winnipeg sports. Got the NSL team today as well. So yeah, very good weekend and an extension of it with the Viggo Björck ELC signing and the NSL announcement today.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Viggo because, guys, I don't know about you, but for the first time in at least a couple months, when I've had people come up to me or friends in the group chat, whatever, talking Jets, for the first time, Connor Hellebuck has not been the number one topic, and it of course is Viggo Björck. And Reem, I mean, you mentioned all the people in Sweden that are now WST followers on Instagram that are enjoying the reels, fans in Winnipeg. Like this signing, as much as there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of ways to go for Winnipeg, it's amazing what one exciting young player can do for just the vibe around a team, which frankly was not very good at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, so much excitement about Viggo Björck and people coming up to me asking, is this guy, going to be good, going to be an impact player? I said, you know how I know? Like, our views are all from Sweden now on social media. I see all these Swedish names liking our page on Facebook. But in all seriousness, I looked at Scott Wheeler's top 100 NHL prospects, and he has Viggo Björck at number 10 and as the third-ranked center behind Michael Misa and Caleb Malhotra. So I think very exciting. He's under contract. Seems like the door is open for him to grab a spot on the Jets roster, and all he has to do, Huss, is walk through it. And the reviews from his intelligence, his hockey sense, his work ethic, very, very positive. So I think a lot of excitement here for sure.
Well, just his personality as well. Guys, listen, hang tight. We can reconvene on a couple of these, and we'll hear from Drew Brown and more from Bomber practice. But, of course, the big sports story, and I would suggest news story. I mean, the big story for the city of Winnipeg and our sporting community is the pro women's soccer team, the NSL, coming to the Peg, led by Desiree Scott and Rob Gale. They're going to join us in just a minute. Before we bring them on, got to thank our friends at Clean Line Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Speaking of supporting our sports community, proud sponsors of the Jets. You see them at the Bomber game and obviously helping us do what we do here on Winnipeg Sports Talk. Clean Line are your experts in residential and commercial plumbing, heating, and electrical services, and have been Winnipeg's most trusted plumbers with over 40 years of fast responses, lasting results, and 24/7 emergency services across all of Winnipeg. Keep this number handy, 204-500-2001. They got you covered with 24/7 emergency services whenever you need them. But if you do need a consultation or to make an appointment to get them out to your place, you can also check them out and make it online at cleanline.ca. Our friends at Manitoba Battery are ready for the rest of the summer. Are you? I know a lot of you are getting out to lakes, your boats, taking a trip in an RV, running dirt bikes, ATVs, and more. You need batteries for all that, and Manitoba Battery is your local option where you get the best prices in town, period. Beating the pants off the big box stores, meanwhile providing the best in customer service and convenience as well. Pop by and see Manitoba Battery for all your battery needs on Logan Avenue or their new location on Dovercourt Drive. And they know you're busy. There are also options for delivery citywide inside the perimeter. You can give them a call or order online today at manitobabattery.com. And just before we bring in Desiree and Rob, because the NSL's moving in, if you have a move coming up over the course of the next few months, spring, fall, summer, or fall, hit up Rolly's Transfer, family-owned and operated for over 60 years and the most trusted name in moving in Manitoba. Check out their website at rollies.com for all the information on their services. But in the top right corner, you can click on Request an Estimate, put in that promo code WST for a special discount on moving services and moving supplies, and then simply let them know when and where you're moving, what needs to go, and the friendly staff at Rollies will turn it around quickly with a great quote and get you locked in for the white glove treatment and service that they've been famous for now into their 7th decade. For all your moving needs, make it Rollies the most trusted name in the game. Find out more today online at rollies.com. All right, well, we got the official word this morning that after much work behind the scenes, the Northern Super League has awarded its 7th franchise to Winnipeg, Manitoba for the 2027 season. And two very good friends of the program join us now to fill us in and celebrate the return of pro soccer. It is Canadian soccer legend and Winnipeg's own Desiree Scott and our pal Robert Gale. You guys, first things first, congratulations. Great to have you on the show. And Des, I'll start with you. I mean, we had you and Christina on, what was it, about 3-4 months ago at a really disappointing time for soccer in the city with Valor recently closing up shop, and now to be here today talking about the NSL coming. I mean, I'm sure you guys are over the moon, as I would imagine everyone in the soccer community is. How are you feeling about today?
Man, trying to take the moments and soak it all in. It's been a long time coming, a dream come true. I know a couple years ago, Rob and I had a chat via text, like, can we bring a team here? And to now be here celebrating the official announcement of it, it's truly surreal. What a time.
Now, Des, you are the co-founder and vice president of community and player experience. We can kind of get into that, and it certainly sounds like you're perfectly suited for that role. But I mean, I know you guys have been working really hard behind the scenes. Tell us kind of what the last 4 months have been like. What's been going on to get you to this point to be able to announce to the country that Winnipeg is joining the NSL?
Yeah, it's been a lot of long nights, a lot of meetings, a lot of text, a lot of people believing in the process and kind of the potential that we see here in Winnipeg. Without those people supporting us from a league level, locally here in the province, from a government level, all the fans and supporters who signed the petitions, who said they wanted to see this come here. Thank you to those people. But yeah, it's been a grind, but an exciting journey. I mean, not how I envisioned my retirement post-career, but what an exciting journey to be on.
Rob, welcome back. I mean, it's been great talking to you about the World Cup. It's nice to see you. Looking like $1 million US tax-free in that suit, by the way. I mean, big day, big day. I think most people know, but I mean, I'll set it up. You've worked really in this game your entire life. You've done it at the pro level with men. You've coached in the NWSL in Portland before. You've worked with youth programs in Canada, in Manitoba, boys soccer, girls soccer. you know what these teams mean to communities. Tell us about the impact and the importance of today's announcement and how happy you are, I'm sure, to be involved in it.
Yeah, really pleased, mate, and thanks for having us on. Like Desi said, dream come true, really. And as a girl dad and someone who's worked in the women's side of the game, it's so important, that representation, right? And the Northern Super League is gender inclusive. It is the most welcoming sport across the world. You see now it's galvanized the country. And Winnipeg, Manitoba, as we said before, it's the differences that make us, and they don't divide us, but they bring us together. And this is so important for representation for young males and females to see top women's female athletes coming to Winnipeg, Manitoba to compete in what is already one of the top 5 women's leagues in the world. So we couldn't be prouder, and we feel very privileged to be able to bring it to our hometown.
Well, and you guys are Winnipeggers, so I'll put this to you. But Des, not only this is huge for soccer in the province, but listen, it's also huge for women's sports. And you've been sort of the gold standard for female athletes, although we produce some incredible ones. Really, you look at the most decorated athletes ever from the province. There's a lot of women on that list. Cindy Klaas and Clara Hughes, yourself. This is huge for soccer in the community, but it's also, I would imagine, huge for women's sports and the opportunity in such a great sporting city that supports our teams to not just have another pro team, but to have our first women's team and be a big part of making that happen.
I think that's just it, right? We talk about Winnipeg being that sporting community and our fans really back our teams. But for us, there's no pro women's sports team from Calgary to Toronto to Minneapolis. And we are the epicenter, the heart of Canada, and we're bringing pro soccer here. So it's massive for the sport in general, but to be able to bring that prowess of women's sport that is so exciting right now, and to be involved in it and create those opportunities not only on the pitch but for people who want to work in the front office and opportunities in the environment there as well. So very, very excited.
Rob, you've been involved in this game and in multiple leagues, countries, cities. How impactful can a team, and in this case a women's sports team, be to a community, not just for the fans that go to the games, but also for the grassroots levels, for so many. We know how many young girls have been playing there. I think this is a watershed moment for them to have heroes to look up to and have it be right there in their hometown as opposed to catching it on TV every now and then.
Yeah, it is. It's so important. We talk about that representation, but that ability to go out and watch it and see someone who looks like yourself on the field. That's why Des has been such a great ambassador over the years and shown that it is possible from people in Winnipeg and Manitoba to achieve the very highest levels of the sport. And now they get to go down the street and go with their family members or their friends and see it live. I'm very fortunate to have been in soccer all my life, and I grew up having heroes in London and being able to go and watch live sports. And when you see it and you're there and you feel that atmosphere, I always call it like fellowship. It's like church. You come and you sing, and the Red River Rising fans. It's that chance for community to come together, for newcomers to our country and to our province. A lot of them have come from countries where, sport might be their only outlet or way out of some hardships, and it's their first sport. The sport they know the best is usually football. So that is their way into building a community and friendships and lifelong relationships, a bit like me and Desiree have known each other a long time. And we're just so grateful and privileged to be able to bring that and to provide opportunity for all these people.
Desiree, if you could tell us a little bit about the league. You have played at the highest level. You finished your professional career kind of helping get this league off the ground. For people that haven't seen the NSL yet, give us an idea about the product that'll be coming here, and obviously what it offers the players as well.
Yeah, having played in it, its inaugural season, the Northern Super League honestly is a competitive solid league. You're seeing players from all across the world take notice of the league. And I think a lot of eyes were on it in year one, like what's it going to be? What's the level? What's the standard? But we're seeing across the board that it's top quality soccer week in and week out. You know, the investment is there. You're seeing it on TV, on YouTube, on CBC, like it's readily available for you to watch. There's a backing there. And you're seeing now the investment financially coming in and truly supporting the league from a sponsorship level as well. So the standard is high. I think if you get your butt in the seats, you're going to enjoy what you see. And for the players that are, you know, thinking about, can I be a pro? I mean, keep grafting, keep grinding, dream big, and you have the opportunity now right here in our city.
Rob, you mentioned Red River Rising. You know, in some ways, you know, listen, it's in many ways, it's a really disappointing that Valor went the way that it did. But I imagine from the NSL team's perspective, it does provide an opportunity with a ready-made group of very dedicated fans that were there game in and game out in the trench to bring their passion for the sport to our women's team when it kicks off.
Yeah, absolutely. They were so excited. We invited them out to the announcement. There's a party tonight at 6 p.m. in King's Head, and we're all going to be there and just soaking it in and enjoying it. But really important, that supporters group, it's the lifeblood of sport. We would be nothing without the supporters, and they've been out there supporting the local teams, the Prairie Premier League teams, which shout out to Bonnie Vital, just won the first ever Prairie Premier League team. There's Lucania, there's FC Manitoba, there's all of the districts, all of the clubs, and they support you. The best bit I loved about that group, rain or shine, win or loss, very self-deprecating, great humor, great people, and they just want to support the sport. And we're just very proud to be able to offer, again, professional sports, but most importantly, professional women's sports for the fans to enjoy.
Des, I was chopping it up with the fellas at the start of the show, and just, you know, we were mentioning this, and you guys are going to be coming on, and you know, I mean, I think part of it is World Cup, but also just seeing the growth of well, it all started with what you and your teammates did kind of 10 and 15 years ago to kind of raise the standard of expectations for any soccer team wearing Canadian jerseys. But now we've seen the men qualify for the World Cup, a whole bunch of firsts this year. And I said that, to be honest, I mean, if we were just being real and looking at sport Canada-wide, and if the sports were stocks, like I would be buying heavy into soccer, you know, maybe at the expense of a few other ones, but there's a lot of momentum both in that and obviously in women's sports. We see what's happened with the Toronto Tempo and the way they've entered the WNBA, the crowds in Montreal for the team. But I mean, what's the vision for you of what this can turn into for, obviously for the organization and the sport, but also for our community?
Yeah, I think being the first expansion team, it speaks to the growth of the league, only in year two, extending their reach to 7 teams, and it's only going to continue to grow. The people at the top level, Christina Litz, Diana Matheson, you know, they have big dreams and goals for this league. Top 5 in the world. That's our goal, to continue to have people showing up week in and week out, year after year, more investment, all of those things. This is just the minimum right here, and we're going to continue to grow that. And for us here in Winnipeg, we want to have a lasting legacy. We want this, Rob and I have talked about it. We don't just want it to be successful in year one. We need people to buy their season tickets, to buy the merch, to be walking in the streets, repping the team's color when we share all that news for everybody. But we want it to be a lasting thing that can then provide that opportunity from grassroots, now fully pathway all the way up to the pros, and hopefully funnel into the national team, that untapped potential that is here right in the prairies.
Now, Des, you are co-founder, but also VP Community and Player Experience. Do you know what that entails? I mean, fill us in on what your role is. What's the gig?
Yeah, we're the dynamic duo here. We're wearing many, many hats as we build this thing off the ground with great, amazing support from our PR firm Uphouse, from the league level. It's been a real journey, but for me, obviously, I love that connection piece. I love connecting with the community. As I said, my career has been so supported by the people here in Winnipeg, and so being out there rallying the troops, so to speak, to make sure they're aware of what's going on, what the Northern Super League is, our goals and our dreams for this team, as well as getting in that, back office sort of space and learning the business of soccer as well, because it is a business, and stepping into a little realm that I'm not so familiar with. And that's the great part about having Rob alongside me. He's been there, he's done it, and he's kind of been a mentor. I'm texting him like, how should we handle this? So it's been great to have him to kind of guide me along the way to learn those things. Because I'm good on the pitch. Now I've got to learn some things off it.
Now, Rob, what about you? Co-founder, but chief sporting officer. What does the chief sporting officer do?
multi hats as well, but basically the football side of that, it's so important having Des along, and she helped really shape this league and bringing Canadian internationals back. And you see now Mimi Aladou, Shailene Zadorsky, all these players, Sabrina coming back. It's so important you had players who've done that, because they can help shape the standards. So I'll be leaning on Desi on what elite women player needs and creating the right environment on the field, off the field, and then try and put a competitive squad together. That's my role. Coaching staff, youth development of the soccer in the community here, and building on all of our partners. So yeah, between us, it might be a title, and it's not really about the titles for us. It's just about trying to create a world-class environment. And really, truly world-class. Top 5 in the league is just the beginning, and we want to be in the upper echelons of that league here in Winnipeg.
I don't know who. Just a few questions about the organization and whatnot, and I'm not sure which one of you I should put this to. But first off, who owns the team? Is it the league, or is there an ownership group here? Is it one person? Like, how does that work, or do we know?
Yeah, we do know. Yes, you'll be pleased to know we know us. But we have a minority investment group that we always targeted 30% of the initial franchise fee, and then a 70% majority ownership. Unfortunately, with the league and the apex investment and the world-class investment that they've had across the league felt it very important to move forward in the expansion and award a franchise as a league expansion team. So we managed to beat out several good competitors across the country, and hopefully those teams will come on as the plan of that continued investment that the league will happen in the next few years. So that's where we are at the moment.
I guess the other thing, Des, is got to have a place to play. Now, I know that it's TBD, but I guess what goes into finding a home, what's important in a home, and I did see the mayor there. I know you guys have been in talks beforehand. It does sound like there is a real buy-in from some important avenues to make this work and to get a home that will really be it'll suit the NSL and what you and the team is looking for right out of the gate.
Absolutely. The province and the city have been so supportive in our bid to get Winnipeg here as an expansion team. They've supported us along the journey, along the way, and obviously creating that atmosphere is going to be very important for our team. What you see across Canada is you see the 30,000 stadiums, the big size stadiums, but what you're missing is sort of that mid-sized stadium that I think would be key for a women's sporting event. And we definitely want to create that atmosphere that is intimate. You're in the action, you want to feel that. And so, yes, our home is to be announced, but we are wanting it to be a space that is for the women, purpose-built, and a space that people can just come to and feel like, yes, this is women's sport.
Now, listen, there's a lot of exciting details coming forward, but one thing I know with my experience on the other side of things working for teams is that we got to get some asses in seats, and there's a lot of excited people about this. For people that are finding out about this for the first time, we just announced it this morning. If people want to get in on the ground floor, what can they do so they can kind of be co-founders as well of being part of really establishing this team right out of the gate in year one?
We're like, who's taking this one? Yeah, we've just got our social media handles all out there. We've got our website live. It is winnipeg.nsl.ca.
WPG.nsl.ca.
WPG. Thank you. See, that's why I need this guy. Fill in the blanks.
That's a chief sporting officer right there.
See, that's why he's got that title. But yeah, we are taking season ticket deposits. Those are going to be coming out later in the fall. You don't want to miss your opportunity to have a chance to pick your seats. So that's running live right now.
We got to guess the name. There's a draw a mascot competition, so the kids out there can guess what the mascot's going to look like. We've been so well supported by Up Helsinki, all in the marketing, the PR, the branding behind the scenes to help Des and I in the areas we're not so good at. We love the football side, but we're super well supported. The website's there. The league staff have been unbelievable. And you said it the best, Huss. You said if you were investing and putting your money somewhere now, you'll be putting it into soccer and women's sports in particular. So get those season ticket deposits in.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's exciting. And I think there'll be a lot of people that'll have a real sense of pride, not only being, first year season ticket holders, but also, helping establish this and especially considering what happened with our previous pro team, making sure that this is, a far more successful venture and one that, continues to grow into the future, which I think that the potential and the buy-in from everyone is going to make it a real success. Here's something that I think a lot of people need to know. As someone that didn't really know about I follow the Canadian teams, but I don't know, I'm not following weekly like all these leagues around the world. The soccer schedule is different in different parts of the year. Des, how many games is the team going to be playing? And I guess how many home games? And when is the season? When does the NSL start and when does it finish up?
Yes, it is a long calendar year. We've got, I believe, 24 games throughout the season, obviously half of those being at home. Preseason starts in February. So we've got about 7 months to build this thing from the ground up, but we are ready to roar and get going. Regular season home openers begin in the April range of the month. So
listen, just a suggestion, because we want this to start off as well as possible. I would suggest not having people's first experience coming out to watch the team being in February in Winnipeg outdoors.
Right. We're planning our preseason trip somewhere warm. So there, and maybe a couple of away games to start the season, let the snow melt.
Yeah, I think that would be phenomenal. So, I mean, it goes through. And here's another question. So in a lot of the European leagues, the teams play an even schedule. You play all the teams once on the home, like the Premier League, basically, and the winners, whoever has the most points. Is this regular season, or is there like a playoff format like we're familiar with in most North American sports?
Yeah, very North American. You do get like the Shield winners, the league winners. So the beauty of a seventh team is with the other 6 teams, as Des said, we'll play twice home, twice away, and we'll all get to play the same amount of games. 24 teams, and then the top 4 teams in the league will qualify for the playoffs as well, and that's a home and away. Des was playing out there in the snow last year and only narrowly lost to the eventual winners in Vancouver. So we'll be looking to get our own back for her in about October, November, and maybe it'll be like that game that we called the Ice Tecker here in Manitoba, and we won't be so friendly to anybody coming in a playoff game at that time of the year.
Hey, I know the Red River Rising folks will be ready for that one. Hopefully all the rest of the fans are as well. Desiree, you obviously have just an incredible story, starting here, going to the University of Manitoba, all the way to the heights of the sport. I'm just thinking now about your path, which is somewhat unique, but we've got a great program at U of M. There are a ton of incredibly talented, young girls. You just mentioned the Bonnie Vital team. I mean, playing at grassroots levels. What do you think this team is going to do for players that are, 14, 15, playing at a high level, as well as opportunities for young women that are playing at U Sports level that maybe never even in a million years thought they might have a chance to play it professionally?
I know when I was growing up, I, again, never thought of where I would end up with the sport. The sport has given me so much. Just a girl who loved the game, wanted to compete and see how far she could take it. And this is something that now the generation of Manitobans and people in the prairies, they don't need to envision a world without pro women's soccer. There used to be that gap after you were kind of 18, 20 or college. You're like, well, now what do? I either stop playing or I go and get it, So now there's this opportunity really from Timbits all the way up to the pros. And if you love the game, hopefully this is a motivator for those people who are in the 14, 15 age range, deciding, do I stick with it or not? Hopefully this fuels some fire, because right now we've got an opportunity to play pro soccer in your backyard. How amazing is that?
All right, well, listen, I really appreciate you guys coming on. I want to congratulate you both. Wish you luck with everything. We will certainly have your back and support it here on WST, and I can't wait to be at that first game and see what's going on. Des, are you going to coach, or like how involved are you going to be in the actual team, or is this basically community business football, or will you just be picking a great coach to lead our team to incredible heights?
I'm coming out of retirement for the third time. No, I'm joking. I'm not.
Breaking news.
Not going to play, not going to coach. I'll leave that to the experts, but just helping to build the squad around Rob's direction here and help make this a world-class place to be.
Listen, you guys, I know this is an incredibly exciting announcement today, but it's really just the start, especially for you two. There's going to be a ton of work going forward. Wishing you guys all the best. And I have a feeling we'll be fast friends and have you guys on quite a bit over the course of the next few months as we build this thing up and get ready to launch it in 2026 or 2027, I should say. In the meantime, just in time for you guys to go to watch the game, I'll let you go. Enjoy. Rob, is it coming home? How are you feeling?
Look, I said this before. Football came home today. Winnipeg, football's home. England is just the icing on the cake after we destroy Argentina tomorrow.
Great way to end it, you guys. Congratulations, and we'll chat you soon. All the best. What's the website again? People can jump on there, get deposits in?
WPGNSL.ca.
All the best. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Desiree Scott and Rob Gale, two of the best. And man, this is exciting. I think that this is perfectly placed. We'll see how big this stadium is. But I really do think that this is going to be very, very well supported. I'm going to bring the guys back in a minute. Just while we do that, a huge thanks to our friends at Princess Auto. And frankly, it's the Princess Autos of our city that, have done so much in this community so that things like this actually get off the ground. They certainly have been great supporters of ours, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Princess Auto Stadium. And now that the country is coast to coast, they're still headquartered here, founded here, with their flagship store newly opened at 500 Panet Road. We're actually planning on out and getting a look for ourselves. Going to be doing a show there, hopefully in the next few weeks. So we'll keep you posted on that. Maybe you can pop in and join us for that. But if you haven't checked it out, get down there right now. And of course, you can always shop online 24/7, 365 over at princessauto.com. It's finally cooled down a little bit. This is a great time to get outside and make the most of summer. And there's nowhere you can make more of your summer than with a first stop at Chud's Power Sports, Manitoba's Power Sports Superstore, with the best in new and used vehicles, incredible financing options, promos, and clearance deals at True North Parts. Whether you are thinking about a motorcycle, a dirt bike, an ATV, a side-by-side, a golf cart, boats, outboard motors, RVs, Chud Sports has them all, with the best brands and the most experienced staff in customer service that you will find literally anywhere. That's why they've been doing it for over 80 years. Pop up and see them at the corner of Highway 8 and 231. You can also check out all their great deals, latest promotions, and more online at chudspowersports.com. Big shout out to our friends at St. Vital Dental Center for their support of WST. Dr. Terry and his wonderful staff make even going to the dentist a pretty good time. Hey, they've been serving generations of Winnipeggers and Manitobans. Now have a beautiful new facility at 167 St. Anne's Road with convenient free parking right behind the building. And they've got you covered for everything. Clients from 6 months to 99 plus with a wide array of services from cleanings, checkups, all the way to things like dental implants. Dr. Terry and his crew do it all. So for all your dental needs, give a ring to our friends at St. Vital Dental Center. You can check them out online and make an appointment at stvitaldental.ca. and it's just about 2:00. We're just about to kick off in the World Cup, and I wish I was at Boston Pizza right now. Almost should have made a call an audible to meet the fellas down there. But BP is your headquarter for the World Cup. Of course, the final is coming up on the weekend. Make your reservations at your local BP if you want to get a gang together for the big match, regardless of whether it's France or Spain or England or Argentina. Bomber game this Sunday night when it comes to sports bars in town. Boston Pizza's in your neighborhood, and it's the place to be. You can also order online and get it hot and fresh to your door at bostonpizza.com. All right, Ken's going to join us in a few minutes. Let's get Connor and Remo back in here. And, Connor, you're younger. I'm interested in your perspective on this. I mean, we've seen teams come and go, but, the significance of our first professional women's soccer team and to have people like Rob Gale and especially Desiree Scott leading the way, this is a really cool day, I think, for sports in the city.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that last point you made is the key point. You got to have people that care and that are passionate leading up projects like this. And that interview just about said it all. Like, Rob and Desiree Scott are fired up for this. They're so proud to be, Winnipeggers leading this franchise. And you said it, Huss. I mean, I think soccer, it's the world's game. Like, everyone plays soccer. I played soccer. Like, growing up, it's the easiest sport. You just get a ball and run to a field, right? Like, it's the easiest sport for everyone to get into. And women's sports are booming right now. Soccer with the World Cup, there's so much interest in that right now. So I think, like, this is an announcement that we're obviously super pumped about, but this is something that could grow in the next 5 years and really become something super big in this league, in this Northern Super League that is expanding. I know that they want to get to 8 teams, and this team is the 7th in the league. Winnipeg is, so maybe they'll expand another team in Canada here. But man, I mean, this is super exciting. And I agree with you that there's no bigger growing sport right now, it seems like, than soccer. It's already the biggest sport in the world. But here in Canada, it seems like the popularity for it is booming.
Yeah, I mean, listen, soccer and basketball, at the grassroots level, obviously the Sea Bears have been a big hit. But Reem, I'm interested in your take on this. Like, I couldn't help but think of your little girl who actually just got started this year, running around like bees, chasing the ball. In a few years, you're going to be able to bring her to a stadium here and watch girls that were basically her 10 years earlier, 15 years earlier, playing professionally right here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I think it's great. We've seen the growth of the WNBA with the Toronto team this year, and we've had Diana Matheson and Christina Litz on talking about the growth of the NSL, and Desiree Scott played in the U.S. Women's Professional League, so very exciting. And I think that was the first thing that I looked at, where, is this team going to play? Because the last pro team here, Valor, it didn't go so well playing at the stadium, but she says it wants to be smaller and intimate. We're looking at around the league, attendance like 4,000 to 6,000. And it seems like they have been working with the city on making investment into a field here. And I'm sure they'll announce it soon enough as they take the season ticket deposit. But you said you'd be able to pick your seat in the fall here for next season. So check out what WPGNSL.ca.
Yeah, and again, if you want to get in on the ground floor and get tickets, now's the time to jump in. I know they had some people early on that signed a petition that had the first crack. I'm sure many of those people will be on there. But, the bottom line is, if they're going to be putting this together, the people first in are going to be able to get their spot. And, like many people, myself included, have had the same seats at the rink since the day that Jets came back. My parents have been in the same seats at Princess Auto Stadium for 30 years. Well, 30 years, obviously Princess Auto Stadium hasn't been there, but, Bomber season tickets. I think there'll be a lot of people that really take a lot of pride in this and being there right on. And I think there is something to be said. I think this is the perfect intersection of it's time to have some sort of women's sports representation with an opportunity to get soccer, a professional league, back here in Winnipeg. And I'm really bullish on all this. I hope nothing but success for them. And as I say, we'll certainly be here talking about it and hopefully getting the word out to many of you WST listeners on how you can support the team as fans. And I'm sure they'll also be working quite hard to get people and companies that that do a lot of business here in the province on board to set it up. We're going to have Ken Wiebe come and join us in just a couple of minutes. Can tell you that we are just kicking off right now. Oh, we're 5 minutes in right now. And it is still 0-0, France and Spain. But
yeah, they actually start on time, Huss. They don't say 2 and then, started late. They're right on time at the World Cup.
Exactly when you were starting. I mean, baseball starts on time. They just tell you it's a 7:37 start. Not so much with the NHL or hockey, but we will work on that. Listen, let's head out to Princess Auto Stadium. Our pal Ken Wiebe is hard at work on the Bomber beat today, and listen, we're definitely going to talk some Jets with him in a minute. But Kenny, what's going on? How are you? Can you hear us? Okay, we all good on the connection?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Andrew, Connor, Remo. Greetings. Drew Brown show is still in effect here for those who have been wondering back home. Zach Collaros in uniform, but Drew Brown taking the first team reps. So I'm not sure we're quite where you were hoping, Huss, with a quarterback controversy, but the initial signs have Mr. Brown operating the offense on Tuesday. Now, it is a Sunday game, so lots of time for things to unfold. But as we do know, Huss, Friday's practice, I believe, is a closed practice, so the drama may reach all the way up until the time that the depth chart comes out on Saturday morning. But early signs are that Drew will continue. At least he was running the offense today. Let's go with that.
I mean, to clarify, when I did say it would be so great to show up on Monday,
I know what you meant.
Controversy. It was basically to say if Drew Brown balls his ass off and they win the game, everyone's going to be talking about what about Drew. And listen, you need to have effective quarterback play. And the bottom line is he went out and had a heck of a game, slung it, got the ball off quickly, great arm, exactly what they wanted in hit. I mean, this is not to take anything away from Zach Collaros. I mean, Collaros is going to go down as a Blue Bomber legend. But it does create, I think, a very different situation than the Bombers have had in the past. It was clearly Zach, and then there was a big drop-off into the next guy. And I will say the Bomber offense looked pretty darn good against Toronto. And listen, that's a great place for Mike O'Shea to be in. Bozos like us can opine on who we think should start, but Ken, for a head coach, you want to know that you've got a great guy going out there and another good option if something happens. And the Bombers haven't been as set or maybe as comfortable with options in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing about Drew, Huss. I mean, you're not going to use him like Chris Strevler, where you have a series of plays built on the guy's ability to bulldoze his way through, but you do have the mobility factor with Drew Brown also coming out of the backfield and, not just being a pocket quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, definitely the Bombers have options at the QB position here that they are more comfortable in. And Huss, I mean, we talked about it, and I wrote about it last week before the start was made. Like, this isn't just insurance policy territory, even though they've already cashed in on the insurance policy. I mean, given Zach's age and where he's at in his last year of his deal, I mean, the Bombers have to be thinking about the future, and that's to take nothing away from Taylor Elgersma, who they believe has a bright future, but probably not bright enough to be a quarterback, that's going to lead you to the Grey Cup next season. So, I mean, Drew Brown has got the familiarity factor. He's he's beloved by his teammates and by Zach. And, he came in and, after a frustrating start to the year where he lost his job without really having much of a chance to fight for it. Now, again, folks like us, I mean, the bozo factor is pretty high. But yes, I mean, this story writes itself if Drew happens to be starting and be at the controls on Sunday in Ottawa. I mean, come on. I mean, we know that Mike O'Shea won't be doing it for the storyline, but it doesn't get much better than embattled and discarded quarterback rolls into place where he A, got 2 years of great experience, but B, was told he's no longer good enough to be the QB1 on a QB1 of a team that has championship aspirations and, in a lot of ways has been the gold standard for the last, 7-8 years. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to monitor as the week moves along here.
Yeah, I mean, built-in revenge game narrative. I mean, almost as good as any. Like, sometimes we just say it, the guy's playing against his old team. It wasn't like he was shut out completely by a new head coach and then traded just a couple weeks into this season. And as I said earlier, man, does that trade look good right now. Not sure that Ottawa would have wanted to help out a division rival like Hamilton, but I can tell you that is a very desperate team, and it shows what happens when you don't have good quarterbacking in the CFL. You're not winning football games, and obviously the Bombers in a good spot. And I guess the other thing is Brown was just named a third star of the week in the Canadian Football League for his start, so you would think that he would earn it. And let's face it, there it is, Drew Brown right behind Justin Rankin again, and Tyson Philbott for his big game against Calgary. Drew Brown with the 339 yards and a touchdown, leading the Bombers to win the third star of the week. He'll be incredibly motivated to go in and prove a point, I'm sure, on Sunday night. And then at that point, they can worry about that. But as I mentioned, we joke about the worrying. I don't think there's a lot of worrying about knowing that you have two quarterbacks that you feel you can throw out and give you a very good chance to win.
Well, let's just put it this way. Mike O'Shea's feeling a little bit better about his lot in life than Scott Milanovic today.
Yeah, I would say so.
And for the next 12 to 14 weeks or so. And again, no offense to Milanovic, who is a offensive mastermind, but he does not quite have the weaponry at his disposal as he had when Bo Levi Mitchell was writing a remarkable stories. So, yeah, I mean, Bombers are in a good place. As you mentioned, I was at the wedding in Brandon. I didn't have a chance to see much of the game, but have seen the highlights. It was also Trey Vavel territory today. Lots of folks reminiscing about the play that sort of, lit the roof on fire at Princess Auto Stadium on Friday and sort of turned, not turned the game around, but I mean, it was just a remarkable sequence when you consider what happened, 4 plays prior, right? So, I mean, that's the beauty of professional sports.
What about the timeout?
Yeah, I mean,
the 10-point timeout. Like, when you think about it, like, that literally was a 10-point swing. It went from a successful field goal to a missed field goal and a touchdown return, 10 points. The Bombers won by 9.
Right. Accidental icing, as far as we know, right? So I
Well,
apologize.
okay.
I was going to ask Mike today, but his avail was starting right up at the time when I was supposed to be going on here.
Listen,
so.
I've got some inside information. I spent some time at the barbershop this morning. Osh was in yesterday. He was grilled about this. And he said, no, it was not icing the kicker with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, if anyone thought about that.
That's why folks get called bozos, Huss. I mean,
well, I mean, I will admit, I was laughing when it happened, but I'm like,
for sure,
they didn't just ice the kicker. Like, there had to be something else going on. And there was. And the Eagle
was it a 13th man? Yeah, 13th man.
Swatted a 13th man. Whether or not that was a 13th man, I have no idea whether it was the case. And honestly, it doesn't matter. It ended up being the greatest early icing of all time in the Canadian Football League. Kenny, I do want to transition over to Viggo Björck and the Jets. Let me just quickly mention that this segment's brought to you by your Prairie Toyota dealers. If you're looking to dominate on the ice or off the ice as much as your team does on it, check out the Toyota Tacoma with the standard I-Force engine boasting an impressive towing capacity of up to 6,400 pounds. In fact, it's the most powerful Tacoma ever. So whether you're hauling gear to the rink or heading to an away game, you can tackle it with ease. And the available panoramic multi-terrain view monitor gives you a live underfloor view to navigate even the toughest terrain. So experience power, capability, and convenience with the Toyota Tacoma. And right now, you can lease the 2026 Tacoma from $110 weekly at 5.69% APR for 60 months with $70.99 down at your local Prairie Toyota dealers. Kenny, just before we get to the Jets, I'm not sure when you jumped on. We just had a great chat with Desiree Scott and Rob Gale. What a great announcement this morning for soccer, women's sports, the city of Winnipeg. Pretty exciting times. Just thoughts on the Peg getting an NSL team led by two people with such incredible respect in the market in the sport.
Yeah, no doubt, Huss. I mean, our sports editor, Grace Payson, wrote about this a couple months ago. I believe Rob and Desi were, in the building at Mountain at Freep headquarters talking about the possibilities. So this is obviously an exciting time for them. I mean, these are folks who are invested in, the success of football in the community, right? So, and again, proud moment for Christina Litz, who, plays a big role in that league, right? So, being a Winnipegger herself. So, yeah, I mean, big moment for the community. And we've seen the rise in women's sports and, nice to continue to see, Winnipeg want to be a part of that moving forward and be a part of that growth.
Well, hopefully we see the rise of the NSL here, and hopefully we see the rise of the Jets again to being much better than they were last year. And Viggo Björck sounds like he's going to be a part of it, Ken. I know you love to read tea leaves. What are they saying about the new number 61, the first ever in Winnipeg Jet history, who signed his 3-year deal, and all indications are this young man is going to be coming here to Winnipeg to play in the show.
Yeah, so we're going to have to go to our friend Liz Hood and see if there's been any 61s used in preseason activity or training camp. But yeah, I mean, first.
It is a training camp number.
It is definitely a training camp number, but may not be for long. So. We'll have to get a little bit of insight on, whether he was a Rick Nash fan or what the
Genov.
Well, who knows? Whatever it is, it's good. As you know, you were talking about it yesterday. It's probably going to be flying off the shelves at Royal Sports. So, I talked with Joseph Boumedian, former Team Sweden general manager, who just so happens to have played professional hockey with Viggo's father and has been watching him since he was 5 or 6 years old in Stockholm.
Is that Sasha's dad?
Sasha's dad, yes, the former Penguin and NHLer. But spoke with him yesterday. Huss, he just was raving about his abilities. Wrote about it in the Free Press here, in the paper today and online, obviously at winnipegfreepress.com. But raved about everything that we've been talking about, everything we've been seeing, everything the scouts say. I mean, Joseph was blown away by the maturity of this young man's game. And when I asked him flat out about the jump to the NHL, he was very straightforward and forthcoming, saying that, yes, of course, there's going to be an adaptation period required for an 18-year-old kid trying to make the jump. But because of the maturity he basically said you can use him in every situation. So when you have that leg up on the competition, most 18-year-old snipers, not only are they not, effective defensively, they care very little about defensive play or being, having defensive acumen. But not only is Bjorck skilled and has vision and can finish and competes like a, dog on a bone, he's also one of the better and smarter defensive-minded players on the ice and is willing to engage in battles with those players. Now, again, he's not going to win all the physical altercations given his size, but he's a competitor and he knows how to use leverage. And, Joseph said flat out to me, Huss, they put him on the first line at the World Championship, the men's World Championship, not the World Junior, to see how he could handle it. And they were, he was quite honest in his assessment and saying, we weren't sure how it was going to go. And then the next thing you know, he's going up against Sidney Crosby and Macklin Celebrini in a game at the Worlds, and it went just fine for the young man. So, yeah, and no one's saying here that, pass the torch to Viggo, he's going to take it from here. But Huss, this isn't just about the future anymore. Viggo Björck is going to make the Jets a better team right out of the gate. Right now, again, we get stuck with labels and, it's got to be 2C and whatever else. The Jets want Bjorck to become a 1C. Right now, the 2C spot is what is available. And, on the road or whatever else, yes, Adam Lowry's minutes will be higher on some nights because he's going to be asked to take on the defensive responsibility against the other team's best. But Huss, Viggo Björck isn't going to need to be sheltered. We're not talking about an 8-minute player at the National Hockey League level. this is a guy who's going to be getting a regular shift and will be a contributor. Now, again, I know you were talking about it with Mike yesterday. Yeah, now finding the right line mates and seeing where it fits and seeing how the adjustment period goes. Yeah, that's the next step in the equation after a good summer of training for Viggo. But one thing we know, Huss, he's not going to be intimidated by the responsibility that is going to be placed upon him. And he's not going to shy away from the moment. I mean, that's the other thing that Joseph spoke with me about. He said his ability to rise to the occasion is something he's been doing since he was a teenager also. So that's a quality that the Jets will welcome into their lineup. I mean, again, they're not asking him to carry the team, but he's going to be asked to do his job. And it's one of the things too, Huss, we were talking about this leading into the draft. Yeah, 8th overall picks don't always get sent into the NHL, and some people are going to say, oh, well, what are you rushing him for? Well, there's a need on the roster, and Bjorck has the skill set to fill that need. I mean, Ben Kendall wasn't a top 4 pick last year, and he had a really strong year with the Penguins because A, he was a smart offensive player, but B, he also could take care of himself away from the puck. So, yeah, I mean, it's not just going to be an ascension like Laine, scoring a bunch of goals and getting a bunch of points, but he's going to provide an all-around game that will make the Jets a better team. Now, how the pieces fit, we'll see. But, I mean, my vote from the beginning has been to think about what it's going to be like with Gabe Vilardi and potentially someone like Morgan Barron on his left side, because then you've got a guy who, A, has been a center at the NHL level and can help with the down-low responsibilities at times. All 3 of those guys have played center in the NHL for that matter, and 2 of them are big, strong guys that win board battles, and I think it can create opportunities with the vision and passing ability that Bjorck has. Now, again, that means Cole Perfetti goes up with Scheifele and Connor. And again, we've talked about this for the last year and a half. So I think that's something that I think would be worth a spin also. So it's going to be interesting on that front too. But yeah, I mean, I've been telling you this since Bjorck was drafted. I think that this was always the plan, but no one's going to want to put any pressure on the player. They just want to let things unfold. And for people who are saying, oh, well, Bjorck's got a contract, he's going to want to honor it. When Bjorck said, let's see what happens, he was giving respect to his club team and not wanting to put the cart before the horse. That's it. I mean, this guy wants to be an NHLer. There's an opportunity for him to become one as early as this fall. And again, the pathway is there for him to do that, and not just do that and tread water, but to be an impactful player.
Weber, I'll be honest, I thought when he was selected, there'd be a very good chance he started with the Jets. I kind of thought that, he'd be in maybe playing the 4th line center role for 15, 20 games. And if it went well, maybe he gets an opportunity to move up. But I mean, kind of looking at the roster right now, what are the chances that he just comes right out of the gate playing in the middle in the top 6?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said before, because you have the Lowry factor, Huss, and his ability to play heavy minutes when you need him in matchup minutes, yes, I do think that, I don't see the Jets sheltering him or easing him in on the 4th line. Yes, we understand that Mark Scheifele had some 3rd-line minutes when he was breaking in as an 18 and 19-year-old before he got, as the 18-year-old, 19-year-old year was the shortened season. So, yeah, I mean, yes, I do think that's, again, they're not going to force feed this, Huss. If it's not working, they're not going, the next option would be to send him to the Manitoba Moose. But again, the reason why the Bjorck scenario is different than some prior situations is because he also has the defensive awareness and hockey intelligence that will allow him to still make positive contributions, even if he's not lighting up the score sheet immediately when he's used in a top 6 role with power play minutes. So, I mean, you can label it however we want, but I see him being a, north of 14, 16 minute a game player right out of the gate. And, depending on who the line mates are, depending on who Adam Lowry's playing with. Yeah, I mean, I see Bjorck being on a skilled line with the ability to provide skill, but because he's smart, I can also see him being used a little bit more than maybe the usual 18-year-old who might not be given that type of responsibility offensively to make things happen and also be trusted against other teams. This reminds me of when Ryan O'Reilly made the Avalanche as a 18-year-old as a second rounder. Because of the defensive piece, you can put him in a lot of other situations that you wouldn't just be putting a regular skilled score in as an 18-year-old rookie.
Weber, obviously everyone's all hyped on Viggo, and it's really added a lot of juice, I think, to just the excitement of Jet fans for the upcoming season. The other shoe has not dropped yet. What is today, the 14th of July? Let's get our daily temperature check on Hellebuck Watch. It's kind of funny. I had a few people saying, they're kind of hearing that there maybe is. Put it this way: how often do you think Jarmo and Chevy are talking these days?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know the answer to that question. I think, as I said, last week, it feels like this was a retreat to your respective corners type of situation. Again, I'm not saying that one side's mad at the other or whatever. It just, you have two people who are trying to get the best deal for themselves, and when you're grinding away at a deal like that, sometimes it's best to just take a seat, take a deep breath, go to your respective corners, and then you're going to come back with your better offer, or your best offer, or whatever way you want to describe it, Huss. I know, again, this is something that we continue to talk about, and the online discourse has been quite hilarious to monitor because it's like when you went over to your buddy's house to trade hockey cards as a young player, and you're shocked why he won't accept your trade of Martin Jelenoff for his Wayne Gretzky rookie. I'm not saying that that's the quality of the offers that are being traded back and forth, but you have it's funny how these conversations probably go, because you have the one argument in being, oh well, hey, you're asking me to take a 33-year-old with 5 years left on his deal, but you're also asking me to take a 3-time Vezina Trophy winner who also won the Hart. So, which side is it? We who have been watching, the folks who've been watching him for a decade plus, understand the value, but you also understand we're in a time where, I'm not going to compare it to the Major League Baseball where starting pitchers have become dinosaurs, and the ability to go late into games like Dylan Cease did with a no-hitter are so rare. But teams are moving away from the workhorse that Connor Hellebuck is. Now, again, I think that that's a bargaining position take rather than someone who doesn't want their goaltending to be upgraded scenario. But yeah, I think that they still look like the most logical destination, Huss, based on the pieces that are available and in the Sabres organization and the depth of the organization, and maybe the ability to get creative in terms of adding a couple other pieces in order to make the deal work. Whereas before, the deadline was more imminent because the Jets wanted that 4th overall pick, so they could add either Daxon Rudolph or one of those high-end defensemen with that second pick in the top 10, which is what they were sort of trying to nail down. So, whether it's roster players, prospects, guys who are NHL ready but haven't really broken through, the UPL situation is a little bit more complicated now that his modified no move is in place. But Huss, let's just put it this way. What goalie wants to be part of a 3-goalie system that includes someone who plays 60-plus games every year? Come on. This is serious wake-up territory, right? So anyways, let's see how it unfolds. They still look like the most likely candidate, but that doesn't mean it's the most likely outcome, because as we've seen in the past, with some of the deals that have been made, all of a sudden someone else comes to the table and says, oh man, we've had a pretty good summer. Imagine what we'd be like if we had Connor Hellebuck in goal with this team in front of us also. So anyways, San Jose sort of seems like a team that's kind of on the periphery and makes some sense. And to me, Utah is interesting, but then you have the complex scenario added that, Utah's in the Central Division, and do you want Connor Hellebuck coming into your house 2 times a year for the next 5 years if Utah's the team on the rise in the division? Now, again, that's depends on the quality of the offer. If they make the best offer, I think Kevin Cheveldayoff would accept it. But to this point, there hasn't been an offer that has made the Jets say, you know what, it's time to trade our franchise goalie. And until that happens, Huss, no matter what the discourse in the background is, Connor Hellebuck's a Winnipeg Jet. And, we'll see how much longer that is the case. But again, we've talked about this before. There's still a scenario where Connor Hellebuck starts the year with the Winnipeg Jets, even if he falls under that disgruntled employee scenario.
Weber, From your perspective, and I mean, we don't know what the holdup is. We don't know what the guys that Buffalo has agreed to on, but we do know the Jets want players that can come in and help. I'm sure they love high-end players that have team control and a nice future ahead of them. Of this group of players, how would you rank, in your opinion, the Jets wanting them? Like, if you rank these, this is the guy we wanted most to least. Josh Norris, Jack Quinn, Noah Ostland, Consta Helenius. And are any of those players, in your opinion, from what you've heard, no-goes for Buffalo?
Yeah, right now, no. I wouldn't say no-goes, but certainly no-goes to this point. Helenius he's their best prospect, and he's NHL ready, and they want him to probably be their second-line center at some point, even though Josh Norris would probably have the edge in that scenario going into training camp. But I mean, again, you talk everything you mentioned, Huss, would scream Zach Benson, but I just don't see him being an option right now for the Jets. But again, team control 7x7. Zach Benson and the Winnipeg Jets top 6, with a Viggo Björck or with Scheifele and Connor. To me, that would be the number one target. Now, can you make it work with some other pieces? I mean, we'll see what happens. Quinn and Ostland are both interesting. Different style of players, Huss, but Quinn is a guy who's a little bit more of a pure goal scorer. 6 feet, but maybe 180, 185, so not a big guy. Ostland's not a massive guy either, but he plays hard. So, I mean, both of those guys would make sense with what the Jets would be looking for. And then on the back, Mertka, or however you pronounce it, I got to do some homework on that one. But 6'6" right shot defenseman, I would say, is probably among the top targets. Again, I know he spent I think the majority of the year, if not all of it, with Roch there. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy who also makes sense. But it just depends on. And again, before the top 10 pick was something the Jets want. Now, getting a first rounder from Buffalo in 27 isn't going to be a 4th overall pick under most likely circumstances, unless there's a huge drop off in the Sabres play, which I don't see happening, Huss. So again, I know you were talking about this with Mike and you didn't necessarily agree, but Huss, Buffalo was a 100+ point team last year, were they not? I mean, I think they're closer to being a real contender than maybe some people are, even though they got bounced by Montreal there.
Yeah, listen, I still don't buy all that. Like, listen, I know he doesn't want to go to a terrible team, but the feeling for me is that listen, Buffalo has been literally
14 years,
the league for 14 years.
I get it.
And they had a great season from December on. They basically had 4 magical months and won a playoff round. Does that make them a cup contender? I'm not sure. But honestly, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If the trade happens, it happens. And Chevy's got to make it work for the Winnipeg Jets. Wiebe, folks, if you want more on Viggo Björck, and I know you do, it's in the pages of the Winnipeg Free Press right now. Kenny, enjoy doing a little bit of double duty. I love the multitasking at Bomber practice, writing Jets. We will look forward to more of your wise words in the Winnipeg Free Press in tomorrow's edition. You have a great one.
Thanks for having me, Huss. And I'm off to where Jared Ladobruk is today.
Nicely.
Tomorrow.
Well, Jared's about to join us from the AM. On your way out, do you have a pick for the Open Championship?
I mean, I would say Tommy Fleetwood would be kind of like a sentimental pick.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think he's had a lot of cough-ups and furballs at the Open, but I think he would be a fun guy to see in the last group on a Sunday going into the weekend.
England might not be standing on Monday if Tommy won the Open and then England won the World Cup. Like, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Wiebe, thanks so much, buddy.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good day. Cheers.
All right. Yes. Speaking of the AM, we're going to head out to a St. B in a minute. Jared Ladobruk, the executive director of Golf Manitoba, is going to join us to fill us in on what's cooking for our best amateur players in the province. Before we do that, listen, we just talked about Viggo Björck. I mentioned yesterday on the show when he signed that the gang at Royal Sports was already getting the umlauts out and getting those Bjorck jerseys ready. So if you want to be the first one on your block with the Jets 61 of Viggo Björck, Royal Sports is this place to go. Your number one sports superstore in town with the best in Jets, Bombers, all the local teams' merchandise. Tons of World Cup stuff right now. Soccer, softball, baseball, tennis, running, bikes, everything to make the most of your summer as well. It only takes one stop, the 750 Pembina Highway, to take care of it all. Viggo Björck jerseys now in stock. Royal 750 Pembina Highway. Follow them on Instagram as well at Royal Sports Winnipeg for the latest merchandise drops and sale information. The Fish are off right now for the All-Star festivities in the American Association, but there will be festivities on Saturday. The Ballpark Brew Fest at Blue Cross Park goes Saturday. Go to goldeyes.com for more information on that to get your tickets. We'll have to get Andrew Collier on heading into the weekend for more details on the Ballpark Brew Fest. And the Fish are back a week Friday for their next series. You can get tickets at goldeyes.com/tickets. And just before we head out to St. B, folks, the summer's here. Time to get out and make the most of it, especially now that it's cooled down a little bit. If you are planning your next adventure, start with Travel Manitoba. Whether you're searching for road trip inspiration, hidden gems, or the latest festivals and events, everything you need is waiting at travelmanitoba.com. Looking for ideas on the go? Follow along on social media at Travel Manitoba for real-time inspiration, local tips, and can't-miss experiences from across the province. Or if you prefer a personal touch, stop by the Visitor Information Center at the Forks in Winnipeg. We'll get to our ASD picks for the track a little later on. Right now, though, let's head out to St. B. Round 2 of the Not Autocorp Men's Amateur Provincial Championships is going on. And the boss man of Golf Manitoba, Executive Director Jared Ladobruk, joins us now. Jared, great to catch up with you, pal. How's it going?
Good to see you. It's been a minute. Yeah, nice to catch up.
No doubt. Look, first things first, it was absolutely tropical yesterday. How's it been for everyone and the players just with all this heat? And thankfully, fortunately, it's not quite as bad as it was yesterday for today's round 2.
Yeah, it seems like a very comfortable 30 degrees out there. It's a big change from yesterday. So, one of the things, the ball won't fly as far as it was yesterday, but the players are going to be in much better shape. So, the golf course is in fantastic condition, and interestingly enough, the scoring is a little bit higher today than it was yesterday with our lead group. So maybe they are looking for that heat to come back to help with their score. But another great day here at St. B.
Listen, we'll hit the leaderboard in a minute, but this is always, one of the signature events of the year from the Golf Manitoba perspective. The amateur championship, how important is this? And fill people in on what awaits the winner of the Not Autocorp Amateur Championship, because it does open up some doors to some other pretty big events.
Yeah, this is our men's premier event, and I believe that this is the 115th playing of it, if you can believe it or not.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been around for some time. So a lot on the line, obviously for the winner, the opportunity to the title is the men's amateur champion, the best male amateur golfer in the province. That also earns them a spot to compete on our interprovincial team off to the Canadian men's amateur, and then an exemption into the PGA Tour America's Manitoba Open at Elmhurst in late August. So certainly a lot of golf opportunity on the line for the winner. So it certainly it'll put maybe a little more pressure as they come down the stretch, on tomorrow when we finish things up here.
I guess one way or another, we know we're going to have a new champ, because this event has sort of been dominated by Braxton Kuntz. And of course, Brax is now cutting his teeth as a professional, sort of wide open. And the coolest thing about this, I'm just looking at the leaderboard. I mean, we've got some of the top young talent in the province in this event, and we've got some other names that are synonymous with excellence in golf still able to do it. It really is a unique event that brings, as you mentioned, the best in the province going head to head over the course of the rounds.
Yeah, it does bring. We've got some young up and comers, some players that have shown what their game is worth over the last number of years, and then a guy like Todd Fanning who's won this 5 times before and sneaking up the leaderboard, even par today. So just 2 shots off the lead. So it is interesting, depending on how your game's going, but just to see that leaderboard. Just with a mix of talent on there, it's going to be an exciting finish tomorrow. So
I will admit, we were going through this at the end of yesterday on the show, just kind of keeping tab of how things went, and I'm like, there's Fanning again. I mean, he's unbelievable. And I mean, that's the beauty of golf, though. I mean, you can be a hotshot teenager, you can do incredible things, you can play in pro events, and 30 years later, after having a family. So there's a few guys, and Todd is certainly one of them, that you can go and chop it up with the best. But it's Jay Doyle. He's the lone player right now. As you mentioned, There's been a few over par scores.
Yeah.
Jay Doyle 1 under on the tournament, 1 over so far today, with a 1-shot lead over a group of 3 chasing at even par. Caleb Lambert from Elmhurst, along with clubmate Tyler Polanski from Elmhurst. And Jordan Walford from Whitewater. I'll be honest, I'm not even familiar where Whitewater is. Is that in the rural areas?
That is in Thunder Bay. It's a fantastic venue in Thunder Bay, and we do open up, just because of the proximity to that area. We do open up some spots in our events for the golfers. There's a ton of great golf in that part of the country, so it's an easier drive for them to come to play in our events, and it's nice to see the support that area continues to show our championships.
But you know what? Just 1 shot back or 2 of the title. We mentioned Todd Fanning.
Yeah.
There's Alan McDonald, one of the top players from Breezy.
Yeah.
Drew Drones from Shiloh. Adam Blair, he's even. Fanning, and these guys are all even or 1 under. But then, how about the other player from Whitewater? This number sort of stands out. Jack Morrow, like, he's 1 over for the tournament. He's the one guy that's gone really low today. 5 under par so far for his round, which really stands out considering the other numbers.
Yeah, he had a nice front 9. He had a clean front 9, 4 under, 4 birdies, 5 pars, and he's got a clean card on the backside as well. So, and it looks like he's playing 17, which I don't know much about his game, but it is a reachable par 5. So. We could see a really special round here posted, and that's moved him up right now quite a bit on the leaderboard. So exciting to see that game for Jack.
This is it's 3 rounds, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we'll finish things up tomorrow. After today, the 36-hole cut, the top 50% of the field will move on to tomorrow's round.
Well, and you know what is fascinating, and I'm sure this is very exciting for yourself and Munsey and everyone at Golf Manitoba, the people at St. B. I mean, barring, Jay or Caleb or one of these guys going nuclear on the back 9, I mean, we're looking at a scenario where we're talking maybe upwards of 20 players being within 5 shots of the lead for the final round tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exciting. We like to see that. Really, it's an entertaining finish, but that competition exists, right? No one's really run away with it, and you start to see that near, those maybe 1 through 10 are sort of competing here, but we're seeing a pretty deep leaderboard within reach. So, someone finishes close to level par, maybe 1 or 2 over, and that puts them right in the hunt for tomorrow. So it could be a very exciting day tomorrow.
Jared Ladobruk from Golf Manitoba, live from St. Boniface Golf Course, where the Not Auto Court Men's Amateur is currently in the middle of round 2. We're just in the middle of July. You mentioned the pro event at the end of August. This is a busy time for all of you. For just from a Golf Manitoba perspective, we'll finish up here, crown an amateur champion. What's next up on the calendar, Jared, that golf people need to know about?
Yeah, on a different pace, but certainly very important to us. We have our Junior Skills Challenge event that's happening on July 19th at Rossmere, and that's our version of the 3-skill challenge: drive, chip, and putt. So we'll get to see 50 to 60 young golfers come out and showcase their talents. A participation, community level based event, but certainly that's the entry point and the future of golf. So excited to have that one, and then the 21st and 22nd. Is our men's mid-amateur championship that had to be rescheduled just due to the weather that we had up in the unfortunate weather in the Dauphin area a while ago. And then to cap things off in July, we'll have our men's and women's senior event at Breezy Bend Country Club. So once that wraps up, then we move into national level championships, and our interprovincial teams will go out and compete and represent the province and the region at the national level. So
we're
very busy.
We're looking forward to the senior, actually. We'll be out there, and we'll do a show with our friends at Breezy when they're hosting that. Just on it, I mean, listen, you're dealing with heat. We've had insane weather, certainly to the west. You mentioned Dauphin.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to reschedule an event like that? And are you staying in Dauphin, or did you have to move the location as well?
Yeah, unfortunately we did. We moved the location. That event will move to Quarry Oaks. We had 2 events that run concurrently, our women's amateur and our men's mid-amateur. We split them up. You know what? It was actually, we had a lot of outreach from clubs saying, hey, look, we want to help out. Can we step in and assist? So, our women's event went to St. Charles Country Club, and then our men's event is going to Quarry Oaks. So, just a lot of support. We've seen some unfortunate circumstances the last couple of years, just whether clubs are dealing with, turf conditions or we had a fire at Minnewaska a couple of years ago. And so it's certainly nice to see the golf community come together and support one another when times are tough. So that's been a real nice thing to see. And but a lot of moving parts. Volunteer organization. Some of the players can't play, so our event rosters change a little bit. But nonetheless, I have a good team over here, and they came together, and we'll make it happen here in a week or so.
Well, I mean, listen, lots of exciting golf coming up across the province over the next couple months, but right now it's all about the guys competing for that not auto court men's amateur title. Jay Doyle in the lead. It is a crowded leaderboard. A lot of familiar names. Should be a very, very fun afternoon. I mean, people want to come out and watch tomorrow for that final round. What sort of time do you expect the final groups to go off? When's a good time to come down?
Yeah, I think our tee times are the same. You caught me on that one. I think our leaders go out about 10 o'clock tomorrow-ish, but check golfnb.ca. We'll post the leaderboard there or the tee times there for round 3. Yeah, and come out and watch. There's some great golf. There's no admission. Come out and watch some of the best amateur players in the province compete for that title. And St. B's a great walk. It's a beautiful, inside the city. A fantastic spot for people to come and enjoy, and they'll be witness to some great golf.
Well, here's to a great finish to today's round and an exciting round 3 and a worthy champion for our province. Jared, all the best the rest of the year. And, of course, people can go to golfmanitoba.ca for more information on everything you guys are cooking up, as well as live results as it happens from St. B. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me on the show. Really good to see you again.
Appreciate it. You too. There's Jared Ladobruk, the executive director of Golf Manitoba. It's 1-0 Spain. We are into added time in the first half. Spain scored on a penalty. We'll be looking forward to that final second half, and who knows, maybe even a little extra time if the French can get it done. Got to thank our friends at Aikens Lake for their support of WST. If you are into fishing, or maybe just want to try it with some expert guides, world-class hospitality, and a fishing environment unlike any other, Aikens Lake is the spot. You can be on the water in 2 hours from the city of Winnipeg, including a short flight. Go to aikenslake.com for more information on the Aikens experience, as well as availability for the remainder of this season and booking well into 2027. And make sure to check them out at Aikens Lake on all the social channels for more information on what the Aikens experience is all about. Of course, we just had Jared Ladobruk on. Perfect time for a mention of our friends at Breezy Bend. It was great to see Corey and a bunch of the Breezy guys out at the track last night. for the Wiener Dogs. Of course, Jay Doyle was the leader. He's dropped back, and we have 3 players at even right now in the men's amateur. Another 7 players at 1 over par. So the top 10 is separated by 1 shot. Tell you what, the Breezy Bend Golf Report will be pretty exciting tomorrow following what's happening out at the amateur. If you want more information on Breezy, maybe make that your long-term golfing home at one of Winnipeg's top private courses, go to breezybend.ca or give a call at 895-7205. Ask for our pal, Corey Johnson. All right, we got to get to Coolbet Lines, and we have to get to another night at Assiniboia Downs. First up, though, let's crack a cold one. Big cheers to our friends at Little Brown Jug.
You train day in and day out, learning new techniques, approaching new concepts, and living out the thrill of achieving your goals. Building a craft beer is no different. While you spend your hours on the ice, we spend ours here, brewing our trademark beer. Again, again, and again. Here's to pushing the status quo and challenging ourselves to build something memorable. 1919 by Little Brown Jug.
All right, let's get Remo back in here. And Remo, you know, this was shout out to the NSL for making their announcement today, because this is one of the slowest days on this entire calendar. And listen, the big soccer news around the world is what's going on at the World Cup, but this new team coming to Winnipeg, certainly the big story today, both, as I said, both from a sports perspective, but I think kind of a news and community perspective as well. So it was awesome to have Desiree and Rob on. And listen, this is a huge event for golf too. And I mean, a lot of these individuals, many people know them, but there's a lot of young players with a lot of talent. And as I said, it is shaping up to be just an absolutely incredible final round with so many players right in the mix. When we go over to Coolbet, let's see what's cooking. Now, I will remind all of you, if you want to get some picks for the Open, we have a full show that we did this morning, myself, Pat, and Jake. Perfect timing. We have not been hotter making golf picks at any point this year, coming off our 66-1 banger on Tom Kim last week in the Scottish Open. And we also hit the Sunday Sweat Club parlay of almost 19-1. This morning, if you want to go, you can check it out. Leave your winner, your predicted winner, in the chat. But we've got a lot that we've cooked up for the golf in the combo cards. Now, because we had such a strong performance last week with the guys that we were riding, Tom Kim, Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre, and Chris Gotterup, we're running it back with those same guys. A little bit less of a number this week, but Bobby Mack, top 10, top 20, Kim, top 20, Gotterup, top 20. That is boosted from 1455 to plus 1670, so just about 17-1. That's the rewind. We then picked different guys. Patty has Patrick Reed. Jake has Tyrrell Hatton. I got the chef, Minwoo Lee. That one is boosted from 1735 to 20-1. We then went for a top 30 play. This is a little bit of a longer shot. Akshay Bhatia was Patty. Ben Griffin was Jake. I'm going with Johnny Kiefer. That one is just about 32-1, boosted from 27. And then this is the one that I love. We went through all the groups. We were doing some different picks. How about this one? Corey Connors to be top Canadian. He just needs to finish ahead of Nick Taylor. Rory McIlroy to be the top Irishman. Both of those guys, I think, are minus 159 on their own to do that. Tom Kim to be the top Korean. Only Siwoo Kim is ahead of him on that order board. And then we got Ryan Fox to be the top New Zealander. Love this one. This one, plus 1295, boosted to plus 1502. So all of these are up right now in the combo cards. All of our hard work from this morning, but I still suggest you go give it a little spot. And in the comments of that video, put your predicted winner for the Open Championship. As far as the World Cup goes, we're at halftime, and it is France plus 425 to win in regulation. Now plus 450, just changed on me. Draws plus 245. That would mean going to extra time. And Spain is now minus 133. Tomorrow's match, England plus 172. Draw plus 195. Argentina plus 215. Really kind of close to a pick'em. And as far as to qualify, it is England minus 123. Argentina plus 109. And tonight, Reem, of course, it is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Dylan Cease, Christopher Sanchez starting off. I mean, there's some player home run props. There's some player hit props. But I need to know, Remo, do you have a lean on the AL or the NL? But most importantly, and I went over this with Dusty, the total went over last year. I think it had been under 8.5 in 4 of the last 5 years. The pitching is so good right now. We're missing some of the bigger stars. No Ohtani this year. I'm kind of leaning on that under 8.5 at minus 125. But do you have any thoughts on this today?
I don't know. It's an all-star game. They're all good players. When you just take the underdog, American League at the value, plus 112, is that?
I like it.
I can be honest. Like I used to love the all-star game. And it was really the only time you could see all the players. I haven't paid too much attention. I see Ernie Clement starting second base.
Big Ern.
Yeah, he got a ton of votes. And we have to give a shout out to Winkler, Manitoba's Tristan Peters, outfield reserve of the Chicago White Sox, having an amazing season. Winkler.
That's so cool, man.
I know Mike McIntyre had a story on him in the Free Press.
We got to get him on the show sometime. That is so cool. So listen, I'll be now let's see here. Do they have I'm just looking at do they have everybody listed for a hit?
I have no idea what they have here, but
I think they're just probably going more for the starters. Because again, you don't know whether a guy's going to get in. Bobby Witt Jr., my guy from the Royals, minus 110, most likely player to get a hit. That one gets underway at 7 tonight from Philly, Citizens Bank Park. You know, why not? Let's go AL. So they lose the All-Star game. They lose the Home Run Derby and take an L in the All-Star game as well. But the place I think you're really going to want to jump on is the Open Championship. All the odds there. Oh, and don't forget, there's a free pick'em contest for the Open Championship. If you go to Coolbet League, which is bottom left corner, as you can see it, under sports, we've got the CFL pick'em, which is open now. Get your Week 7 picks in. But then we also have the PGA pick'em. You want to click on the one with Coolbet in the Cool Bear in the green vest, if you will. There's one that's like a private one for the PGA Canada. Go in there and get your picks for round 1. You can see that one right there where it says predict the Open and win prizes, green shirt. Click on that. You'll see the matchups. All you do is put the score. You think a guy's going to shoot 72? Put 72 down. 67, 67. You'll see how the scoring works. And then come back before round 2, round 3, and round 4 for your new selections. Hang in there. Make your picks for all 4 rounds, and you could be the winner of the $500 first prize or 4 other prizes totaling over $1,000 from our friends over at Coolbet. And don't forget one other thing for the Coolbet promos. They do have that amazing golf trip of a lifetime out to Cabot Links and Cabot Cliffs in conjunction with the PGA Scramble. Make sure you've gone to the promotions tab before you make any golf bets. Opt in for the golf trip of a lifetime. Press submit, and then every time you make a wager, your bets will give you ballots for the golf trip of a lifetime. And golf betting is 5x. So for every $25 that you bet, you'll get 5 ballots as opposed to 1. And CFL is 3 as well. So again, you just do it once, you're done, and then anytime you're betting, you're getting ballots for that golf trip of a lifetime promo. It should be good. All waiting for you over at Coolbet. Jake will jump on the program tomorrow. We'll kind of recap all of our picks, and then Patty and I will chop up round 1 on Thursday and look ahead to the World Cup final. All right, Remo. Tough act to follow last night at the Downs with the Wiener Dogs and the $2 hot dogs, but we're back at the post tonight for another night of live racing at Assiniboia Downs.
I do have my picks in. I just got to load them all. And yeah, I went over yesterday. You were there in person. Maybe you got some good juju from that. I'll have to check out the next like $1. You sent me a picture of that cone that you had. The $1 waffle cone.
I couldn't believe it. So I had said, I have a friend whose son just finished playing high school football and is a bit of a garburator. I said, well, hey, if we go out, I'm basically trying to find the next and create the next Joey Chestnut. This is a bit of a draft combine. So I gave him some money, told him to go up and buy a ton of hot dogs. I think we had about 25 or 26 dogs.
Oh.
And he ended up taking down 15, I think. And then the other 11 were kind of distributed amongst the other kind of 8 people or so. Excellent dog. But then afterwards came back, and I guess because I got all those dogs, brought me an ice cream. $2, like a double scoop hard ice cream in a waffle cone. Like Darren Dunn, Sherry, and the gang, they do it great. The next Monday Madness with the concession specials is Monday, August. I believe the date is the 24th. It is not the it's not the August long weekend, but the following Monday. So we'll let you know about that. Maybe we'll plan a little outing that night because it certainly was a lot of fun. All right, Remo, why don't you roll through these while I finish up my card?
Okay, I've got 4 selections here tonight at the track. And how was the heat last night? Did it affect any of the horses there?
Well, you know what? They actually pushed the start time back half an hour to 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Because... And you know what? To be honest, we got there, and I was with some friends heading out there, and I was dying in their car. It was so stuffy. And I got there, and literally at that moment, it seemed like the cold front came in. Temperature came down a bit, but most of all, there was a really nice breeze, and it was as comfortable as I'd been outside in probably 4 days. So it actually worked out really, really well.
That's awesome. Well, nice to hear. I was, wondering just how everyone out there coping with this heat. I was barbecuing outside, and it was hot. It was a hot one. But here are my selections for tonight. Race 2, horse 4 to win. Layla's song. I'm going with race. I got 4, 5, and 7 now. 4, trifecta box, going with when the program selection and AI smart picks align, I'm rocking with that. 1, 2, 6, CPG, Chief Brady, and Wico. Race 5, I'm picking horse 4 to win. Dancing Raquel, I'm trying to get that's the program and AI. I'm trying to get a free win here, or picking a chalk pick. And then I am on race 7. I've got a 5, 6 exacta box. Nay. I mean, you got to take the horse named Nay, right, Hustler? And Miss Z, or Miss Z, if you're in the USA and watching Assiniboia Downs.
Oh, good stuff. All right, I am finishing it up. You went over with Chief Brady, hey? There's Wico is back. CPG. Race number 5, Queen of Attitude. I'm definitely going with Queen of Attitude in that one. Actually, okay, race 5, I've got a trifecta box, $6. We're going Peyton's Indian, number 4, Dancing Raquel, number 5, Queen of Attitude. That's the triactor. And then I've got some win bets on early races, just a couple sort of long shots. Race number 1, I'm going on number 1 to win, Symbol Court. Race number 2, I am picking number 5 to win, Pineapple Tidbits. Couldn't miss out on Pineapple Tidbits there. And race number 3, we are going with number 4 to win, What a Force. And I guess I've got one more bet to do. We'll go in with number 6. And I think I'll put together the final, let's go number 8, Mad About Marie. So there you have it. There's our picks for today. Oh, speaking of horse racing, by the way, 7:30 p.m., free admission, free parking. They'll go back at it again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Speaking of horse racing, Remo, I don't know, and I'm going to put this to the chat too. I wonder if any people saw this or have heard about this. So I went out kind of late on Sunday night, and I was seeing some friends and whatever. I'm sitting at a bar, and like there's no sports on anymore. Like basically everything's done. Baseball's over. The All-Star break had started. The Ryder Ticat game was finished. And the Calgary Stampede came up on the screen. And there was an event, the NMAX relay race. Have you heard about this or have you seen about this? And anyone in the chat, have you seen what has been known before as the Indian relay race?
Oh,
at the Stampede.
I see it. I just Googled NMAX relay race. Do you want me to open this? I've never seen this.
I am telling you, yes, open it up. This was the most spectacular sporting event I have seen. And I got digging into it. I'm like, what is this? Where does it come from? Now, my understanding is that it's basically a group of, and this goes way, way back. They called it the original extreme sport. And when you see this, you will understand why. These indigenous riders jumping on horses with no saddles, like bareback, riding these horses at breakneck speeds around the track. When you finish the lap, you jump off. And I mean, these horses don't just stop quietly. Like, it looks like there's going to be a massive car wreck. Yeah, check this out. So this is the first lap. And again, you can see they're super high up because there are no saddles on these horses. So they rip around the track. And then at the end of the lap, there's another horse waiting for them. Getting off the horse and onto the next one is crazy. You can see a couple of these guys, they're not wearing shirts either. Crazy Cree was the winner of the event at the Stampede yesterday. But this is where it gets crazy. Okay, so they're coming up to the end of the first lap. Now, what they need to do is dismount one horse, get onto the other horse, and then go. So you'll see they rip into their spot, dive out on it, and jump right on the other horse and go.
That was crazy.
I have not been as captivated by a sporting event. And listen, I mean, I'm not young anymore. I've been a sports nerd my entire life. I have never seen anything like this. And I was talking to a friend that spent a lot of time out there, and I think what has happened before is that this was always done as sort of an exhibition after the chuck wagons, just because it's spectacular to watch. And I think it's gotten so popular that now it is like a full-fledged event. Bottom line is, I want to see more of this. Like, does this happen at the Manitoba Stampede? Is there anywhere else that this relay race happens? Anybody knows? If anyone has any information, let me know. I see Larry TSG. It's a crazy race, Huss. Kona Poly. I watch always. This was, as they say, it's very, very rare. And I mean, listen, sometimes you'll see some weird sport from some country halfway across the world that you have no idea about. But this is like right here in Western Canada, the most spectacular thing I've seen. Shout out to everyone involved in that race. And all of a sudden, I think I'm going to become a Stampede guy. Don't really care about the chuck wagon races or anything else there. I've never really had much of an inclination to go outside of the party that surrounds it. But I'm telling you right now, Remo, I need to see this event live.
So I'm looking, it's the Morris, the Manitoba Stampede this weekend in Morris, Manitoba. And I'm looking at the schedule. I just did a quick Google. I know they got Chuck Wagon there. I'm trying to see if they have the relay as I pull it up here. But if you want to check out any this type of stuff, go to Morris this weekend.
Yeah, Morris, Motown, and Cowboy said it was a one-race exhibition at ASD. Maybe we can help promote it or something like that and get involved. I'm going to talk to Darren Dunn. I should have asked him about that last night when we were out at the track. Anyways, highly, highly recommended if you haven't seen it. And just Google it. I mean, if you're listening to the podcast and wondering what the hell are these guys talking about, I mean, I think you can Google Indian Relay Race. I mean, it's probably been called a bunch of different things. It's the NMAX Relay Race from this year's Calgary Stampede. Crazy Cree won it. Awesome costumes. And these guys, I mean, as I say, absolutely no concern for themselves, just going all out. Can't even imagine riding a horse without a saddle to begin with, but it was incredible. Remo, wide open night. I guess the big sports is happening right now. We're going to watch the end of this World Cup game and then figure out the rest of the way.
Yeah, I got big plans tonight, Huss. I got tickets going to Creed at the Canada Life Center, going with some friends. I actually haven't been to a concert at Canada Life Center. I think it was, I don't want to say how long, because I used to go to every show. But I guess I'm old now. I got 2 kids, and the dads are going out tonight.
You know, not bringing Evan for his first concert experience?
No, I don't think he's into Creed. I tried to play like Metallica in the car. He says it's too loud, and my daughter says it makes her ears hurt. So I don't get to pick the music in the car a lot these days.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. I still don't really understand the whole Creed thing. I was convinced that everyone was just sort of making fun of them because they kind of sucked and were over the top, just kind of weird back when they did, and their songs were, I mean, we all remember the halftime performance at the Thanksgiving game with Dallas with Scott Stapp flying through the thing. So I think it kind of became like ironic thing, like, hey, I like Creed.
Yeah.
And then everyone just decided they actually did like them, and now they're doing this concert tour. And
when Creed was out, I mean, they're very like, you listen to the top Billboard hits of like 2002, like My Sacrifice is on there. It was played in WWE, and I hated Creed. I was like, they're so lame. Screw these guys. And yeah, I think it was the Texas Rangers, like Higher became their theme song when they won the World Series and really brought it back. And you'd see every Thanksgiving the halftime show at the Cowboys game, and they're like, this is unreal. And I listened to the guitar tone, and they don't really make music like that. And you're seeing a big resurgence for Creed. The videos I see of Limp Bizkit, they played Ottawa Blues Fest. Tom Green came out. People are going crazy, and I know they're doing a Summer of '99 show in Toronto, in Chicago, and that's what this tour is called, Creed Summer of '99 tour. So maybe I just want to feel young again and take me back to 2002 where this music was popular. And again, I haven't been to a show for a while. And my friends, we said, hey, let's go. They got a bunch of really good songs that you can sing along to. I think
they had some hits. I didn't really get it at the time. I will be honest, I don't entirely get it now. But Remis and a lot of people fired up to go. I went in between WST winners, Lock Shop, and the show. I squeezed in a quick haircut today. Shout out to my guy Jeremy over at Hunter and Gun. And I didn't even notice really throughout, and maybe that's just how much Creed I've heard over my life, but he was playing Creed the whole time. And then mentioned, hey, by the way, the reason why I'm playing Creed is I'm going to the show tonight. I'm like, you too, huh? Wow. This is, well, listen, I'm looking forward to WST concert review tomorrow. Michael Remis on Creed. If you're going to the show, have fun tonight. The Downs is a great option as well, 7:30. But in the meantime, I'm going to let everyone go so we can go check the end of this World Cup match with Spain up on France. 1-0. Congratulations again to Desiree Scott, Rob Gale, Christina Litz, and everyone involved in the announcement of the Northern Super League franchise awarded to Winnipeg today. Go to wpgnsl.ca for more information. You can get your deposit on season tickets. And we will look forward to chatting with you tomorrow on the show. Looking forward to having the Scooch join us. It's been a minute since we've had Pascucci on. We'll lean on Joe, talk some Bombers, talk some Jets, maybe a little bit more buzz around Hellebuck's future. Who knows? If there is, we'll have it for you right here on WST. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup this afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the show happen each and every day, and Rob Gale, Desiree Scott, Jared Ladobruk, Ken Wiebe, and all of you for hanging out with us today. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Tomorrow, CFL 110 with myself and Jeff Hamilton, live at 10, right here on the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel.
Oh, my God! Oh! Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for tuning in to Winnipeg Sports Talk Daily. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast feed at winnipegsportstalk.com.